sorry for that. Mommy, please.
It's okay.
Mommy, please.
That's okay.
Mommy, please.
The woman you see here is Doris Ogala, pretending to cry. This is the day she was interrogating Ruth Matthew. This is the day she held the mother of the missing child hostage, together with her 3 children. I'll explain to you what I mean by hostage. It was on this day that the entire case of baby testimony was destroyed. Let me let you watch the full video so that you can have a little bit of context, and I'll explain in detail.
Reaction.
Mommy, please, I'm sorry for that.
Oh.
I'm sorry for that. Mommy, please.
Oh. Ruth.
Mommy, please, I'm sorry for that. Mommy, please.
It's okay.
Mommy, please.
That's okay.
Mommy, please.
Give me the phone. Ruth.
Mommy, please.
Tell me what happened again. Look at your children. Look at your son. Triumph. Look at your son. Look at your son. Ruth.
This was at Transcorp Hotel in Abuja. She had booked about 4 rooms, hotel rooms, for Ruth Matthew and her 3 children. She lured them to the hotel so that she can break them apart. This is the day they arrived at the hotel. So this lady is Ruth Matthew. To those of you who do not know Ruth Matthew, that is her condition. She can't walk. All her life she's been on a wheelchair. This is the woman that Doris Ogala was paid to humiliate, was paid to interrogate. She's the mother of the missing baby testimony. So tell me, how does a normal human being go that mile to destroy a woman like this? What could have happened to that person who can lift an arm to give a slap to a woman in this condition? The earlier video you watched, that was her interrogating Ruth and her children. That was the day she was forcing them, accusing them of having sold their own child. You can see the little boys crying. You can see even Ruth Matthew crying, pleading with her as if she had done anything wrong. The only wrong Ruth Matthew did was to mix her statements here and there. But the truth that has always been constant is her child was abducted. That has never changed. Doris Ogala was capitalizing on the fact that this grieving mother, at some point, she was not consistent with her story because of many factors. And those inconsistencies, those small inconsistencies, is what they put together and gave to the court to conclude that Ruth Matthew is lying about the missing baby. You probably want to know how Ruth Matthew and her family ended up going to Transcorp Hotel. I'll explain again in the next episode. But on this particular episode, I want you to understand this one thing. Doris Ogala came recently and she alleged that the reason why Ruth Matthew lost her case is because she had recordings of me that she sent to court. And the court ruled based on those recordings she had of me. But that is not true. This is what she said when she was featured in an interview.
But it was in between that. It was that my whatever I got from Prof X that Jeremiah used in winning the case in court. But they had the case of baby testimony that nearly brought his church down. Everybody was, it's a case of a missing child in his church.
There is no recording of mine that had merit in court. There is no recording of mine that could prove that the baby is missing or is not. So she could not have sent a recording of me to court to rule out the fact that a baby was abducted, a baby went missing. None whatsoever. The recordings that she sent to court are these recordings. when she was interrogating Ruth Matthew. She spent about 5 days with Ruth Matthew at Transcorp Hotel, interrogating Ruth Matthew, the mother of the missing baby, interrogating the sons, some of them who are minors, just so that she can find some weaknesses in their testimonies, just so that she can find some inconsistencies in their testimonies of how the baby was abducted, how the baby was taken, and who she spoke to, how she spoke to, and what she did after. All those things, This is a woman who's grieving, the mother of the missing baby. And she was subjected to such interrogation by Doris Ogala, so that she breaks, and she broke. In her breaking, she ended up mixing some things in her testimony. And in her mixing up some things in her testimony, that then completed the dossier, the project of Doris Ogala. She now came to the conclusion, together with her financiers, that she is lying, that Ruth Matthew is lying, that Ruth Matthew's case has no merit. And she took those recordings of Ruth Matthew and sent them to court after she received the 45 million from Chris Okaf. And when the court cross-examined those recordings of Ruth Matthew that she was made to testify under duress, they were all used to classify Ruth Matthew as someone who was not truthful. But the baby is still missing. I don't understand how the court itself overlooked the main issue, which is of the baby missing. What the mother could have said as a testimony could be not used as the complete justification of proving that the baby is not missing. The proof of the baby missing is there. All the birth records of the baby are there. So how did the court rule out that the baby is not missing? How did the court rule out that the baby was not abducted? Because Doris Ogala had sent conflicting testimonies from the mother, testimonies that she gave under duress. That's the role she played. She single-handedly obstructed justice for the little boy, together with her aide, Chris Okaf. They too did all that they could do to make sure that justice for this baby is not realized. It's very sad that we have women like Doris in our society who can go this extra mile to destroy lives of innocent people. I don't know how she sleeps at night, knowing that someone's son is missing, knowing that there's a kid out there who's roaming in a world without knowing who his parents are, who his mother is, who his brothers are, simply because someone wanted 45 million naira. 45 million naira that she has probably finished by now. But the baby is still suffering wherever that he is. The boy still longs to be with his parents, with his brothers. The mother still cries out even today that she wants to be reunited with her son. The brothers are forever calling out for the release of their brother. And another mother, Doris Ogala, and of course Chris Okaf. We can't really hold Chris Okaf to such high esteem. But as for Doris, a woman who also knows the pain of giving birth, the pain of being a mother, destroying the life of a disabled woman, and come on, and sabotaging the justice of a little boy. How does she sleep at night? It's very sad. Very, very sad. And I think it's time for us to take a different course of action to bring justice, to do everything that we can to retrieve this boy. This boy is still alive and kicking. This is the time that Nigerians have to come up, and we need all of them in numbers. I don't know who can help in Nigeria. This boy is innocent and he deserves justice. We have to get him at whatever cost. Doesn't matter for how long it has been. If enough pressure is put on this matter, and the right people are involved in this matter, everyone will break. Everyone who knows where this baby is will break. And they will tell us where this baby is.